Example number 4, a mortgage is a long-term goal secured by property. So we know the present value is $250,000, so I've written that to the side, and I know the interest is 7.4%, which we're always going to divide by 100. And then in this case, we know that the rate requires semi-annual payments, so we're dividing by 2 as well to get our I value. So 7.4 divided by 100 in your calculator, and then divide by 2, you get that your I value should be 0.037. So that's what we're filling into the equation. And then our n, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be careful because our n value eventually, when we solve for it, we're going to have to consider that that is currently in semi-annual periods. So we're going to have to convert it into years later on. So that's something we have to consider. Our R value is $10,429.01. So that is the payments that we're going to make. So that's our R value, the periodic payments in R dollars. So what we're going to do is fill in the equation, and then we're going to solve for n, and then we're going to convert it to years in the end. So the question wants us to answer in years at the very end. So what we're going to do is put 250,000 is equal to our R, and then in square brackets, 1 minus, in rounded brackets, 1 plus 0.037 to the power of negative n. And then we're going to divide this entire right side by our I, which is 0.037. So we're going to have to isolate for n. We're going to start by multiplying both sides by 0.037. So you're going to multiply the right side, 250, and the left side by 0.037. So I get 9,250 when I multiply both sides by it. And then I'm going to also simplify what's in the brackets by going 1 plus 0.037, which I know is 1.037 to the power of negative n. So we're just trying to simplify as we go, and then that's what we have so far after multiplying both sides by 0.037. Next, we're going to divide both sides by your R value. So 9250 divided by 10,429.01, and you should get 0.886949. So I'm going to keep a few decimal places there for more accuracy. And that's equal to 1 minus, I can take off the brackets now, the next step is I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides to get rid of that. And I get 0.11305. Next, I'm going to divide by -1 to get rid of the negative sign. And I get negative 0.11305 equals 1.037 to the power of negative n. And now what we can do is we can put a log on both sides. So when I subtracted, I should have had negative. That's the only problem here. Oh yeah. So here, This one should have been negative. My bad. There you go. That makes more sense. So this answer should be a positive value right here. So it should be positive 0.11305. And now I'm going to put log on both sides. And then that means I can use the power law to bring that negative n in front. And that means I can divide both sides by log 1.037. Negative n is equal to, so I'm going to put that in my calculator. I'm going to go log 0.11305 divided by log 1.037. So I get negative 60, but remember we're going to bring that n, that negative, to the other side by dividing by negative 1. So that means that n equals positive 60. Now this is in semi-annual periods. So lastly, we're going to multiply this answer by 2. So you're going to multiply this answer by 2 to get years. So finally, we have 60 times 2 equals, or actually it should be dividing by 2. 60 divided by 2 will tell us that there are 30 years for us to make these payments. So it's going to take us 30 years, and that's our final answer. Example number 5, paleontologists can estimate the size of a dinosaur from incomplete skeletal remains. For a carnivorous dinosaur, the relationship between the length s in meters of the skull and the body mass m in kilograms can be expressed using the logarithmic equation given. To the nearest hundredth of a meter, what was the skull length of the Tyrannosaurus rex with an estimated body mass of 5,500 kilograms. So what we're doing is we're solving for, in this case, the skull length. So the skull length will be the S value and the body mass is M. So we already have the body mass M, so we're just substituting the value of M in and then solving for S. So M will be replaced with 5,500. So what I can do is I can put this all in my calculator. I can put the entire right side into my calculator. So in my calculator, I'm going log 5,500 minus 3.4444. And I get that the right side is equal to 0.29596. The left side still stays the same. Now we're going to divide both sides by 3.6022. So that gives me that log s is equal to 0.0821616. And lastly, I just need to get s by itself. So what I can do is I can change this to exponential form if I want to. So I can go, the base, if you don't see it, is a 10. So it's going to be 10 to the power of your answer. And that's equal to s. So in my calculator, I'm going to go 10 to the power of 0.0821616, and I get that the skull length will be in meters of 1.21 meters. So S is equal to 1.21 meters, because it said round to the nearest hundredth. So that's our answer. And then lastly, example number 6. The rate in which an organism duplicates is called its doubling period. The general equation n of t is equal to n0, and then we multiply by the base of 2, and then to the power of t over d. So we've seen this equation before. D is that doubling time, and then t represents the time it takes for n of t to reach a certain value. So we're going to read the information and figure out where the numbers go to solve this. So they're giving us that some strain of E. coli can cause serious food poisoning in humans. Suppose a biologist originally estimates the number of E. coli bacteria in a culture to be 1,000. So that's going to be your N0, your starting amount. Then we know that after 90 minutes, the estimated count is 19,500 bacteria. We want to know what the doubling period is. So we want to know what D represents. So we're going to write that. We know that the amount's going to reach 19,500, so that's your N of T. Your N0 is 1,000 bacteria to start off, doubling, and then to the power of 90 over D. So we're trying to solve for the D value. So firstly, I'm going to divide both sides by 1,000. And you should get 19.5. Next, we're going to put log on both sides. And because of the power rule, we can bring that 90 over D in front. So in front of log 2, you're going to write 90 divided by D, and then log 2 is now multiplying. Our next step is we can multiply both sides by D to get it by itself. So we can multiply the left side and the right side by D. So that crosses it off on the right side. So we now have D log 19.5 is equal to 90 log 2. And now we're going to divide both sides by log 19.5. And so D is equal to, in our calculator, we're going to put 90 times log of 2. And we're going to divide that entire answer by log of 19.5. And you should get that it's going to take, because we're talking about minutes, because our original 90 minutes, and we're asking the answer to the nearest minute as well, it's going to be 21 minutes as our answer. And that's it. So that is your lesson 8.4. So make sure you try some homework questions from this lesson. Thanks guys for paying attention.